Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey guys, welcome to a new video here today, and we are so fortunate to have Brother Ilyas here to join us. Brother Ilyas was previously a Buddhist before he came to embrace Islam. So today's topic will be about how he from Buddhism came to embrace Islam. And Brother Ilyas also has his own YouTube channel. Do check it out. It's called Ilyas Tan, Ilyastan, where he shares his journey through Islam and the knowledge that he gathered along the way.
Yes, and for those people that's watching on my channel and do not know who he is, his name is Harold of Firdaus. He also has a YouTube channel and he talks about his journey to Islam and also interview and talk to people about their journey to Islam. So if you guys are interested, check him out. I will link his channel in the video description below. Shaherald, Shaherald.
Yeah. So without much further ado, let's get Brother Ilyas to share an intro about himself.
Yeah. So, my name is Ilyas. I'm a 26-year-old male and I converted to Islam or reverted to Islam, close to a year ago. Last year, March. I think in the middle of March. So, it's been a while. Also I've learned many things along the way, and I used to be a Buddhist last time before I actually learned about Islam and subsequently became a Muslim. And I was a Buddhist not by choice, but it was more like my parents are Buddhist. So I was brought up with like the teachings about Buddhism and some of the simple practices about Buddhism. We don't do much and don't practice much last time. The simple things that we do are just going to the temple, and there is some Buddhist festival that we celebrate, and there is also like burning of hell notes on the 7th month, which is also known as the Hungry Ghost Festival. Other than that, we don't do much, and that is why I grew up not knowing much about what I was taught last time also.
So, curious, what is the hell notes about?
So the hell notes basically, right, is it's like banknotes, but it is meant for hell. So people burn it in hopes that this hell notes, okay, if I'm not wrong, at least from my understanding, people burn it in the hopes that this money will reach to their loved ones in hell. So we believe that there is different levels of hell also. Like I think the lowest one is the 18th level, the basement 18, like 18层地狱. I think some people might have heard of that. Yeah, so if like people who...
That's the worst of the people go to the lowest.
Correct. Right? People who do the worst things will go to the lowest one.
Oh, okay.
I think the money is harder to reach down there.
Okay. Okay. So, in terms of gods when you worship, right, what was the Buddhists, I believe they have different gods also, right?
Correct. I think there is many different ones. There's like the Buddha itself. Like some people pray to that. There's also like Kuan Yin. It's like a female, I guess, goddess. And then there is also many other ones. I think some people also have like kitchen god, like Tua Pek Kong, the different one.
If I'm not wrong, again, the kitchen god is basically to bring restaurant business upright, to help with restaurant business.
Correct.
And they have also the Guan Gong, right?
Yeah.
The god of war or something.
Correct.
Call it.
And then there is, I'm not sure if this is Buddhism, but there's, sometimes you go to shops, you see the cat that's waving the hand.
That's also a god.
Not a god. But I'm not sure if it's related.
Okay.
Because a lot of Chinese people use that to
bring luck.
Wave people in to the shop. Yeah, that's what they
okay.
believe in. Like the cat will wave people and make
In
them
the Chinese word is 招财猫.
Yeah, 招财猫.
It's cash luck, right?
Catch the wealth. Yeah.
The wealth, right?
Catch the customer's money.
Oh. Oh no. Catch my money. Okay.
So, other than all those things, the simple practices that we do, I don't really practice much. And my understanding of Buddhism is also not a lot. I only have basic understanding, such as, in Buddhism, there's, at least from what I was taught, there is this reincarnation concept. Like, if you do bad things, you will come back in the next life as like a cat. Or like...
But cats are good. They're so cute.
Maybe not cats, maybe grasshopper. Yeah, grasshopper.
Grasshopper also good. Again. Okay, maybe not animal. Maybe some animals that are, scary, maybe.
Moth.
Okay, moth. Yeah.
Because, I don't know if you know, or is it happen to only to Buddhists, but sometimes my mom would say that, when there's a moth in the house, there's a huge moth, like at the wall, then they would say like, oh, don't kill it or don't disturb it. This is like one of your great grandparents or your relatives that come and visit you. So it's a bit weird. That's also where I, start to have disagreements with the understanding about Buddhism, or at least from what I was taught, because the concept of reincarnation just doesn't make that whole lot of sense to me, because there's a lot of people that commit sins nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. And as the number of sins are growing, more and more people should reincarnate not as humans but as animals instead. But then the world population is still growing at a very fast rate. So,
and animal population is actually kind of decreasing.
Correct.
They're going extinct, actually, some of them.
Correct. So that also doesn't make sense to me. And what also doesn't make sense to me is like, who is the one that determines who goes into like hell, and who is the one that determines who reincarnate into an animal? And so there is like conflicting things like whether or not like, oh, do they go to hell or do they become an animal? So like, there's this kind of mismatch. Other than that, I also don't really believe in the burning of hell notes thing, because it's just a practice that it also doesn't make sense to me, because like, how can I burn the money and then someone in the hell receive it? And why is it only for hell? Like why do we think that all of our relatives go to hell? Like, why is there no one that goes to heaven or whatever? So this concept doesn't make that much of a sense to me, and that is why I was more like a Buddhist by name rather than a practicing Buddhist.
So you're just like following your parents' footsteps and kind of tradition and culture and customary that you're doing those practices.
Correct. It became more like a culture thing rather than a religion. Like, oh, the time comes 7 months and we just burn the thing. That's it. We don't really have prayers or anything. Like we also rarely go to the mosque. Not mosque. We never went to the mosque before. We rarely go to the temple.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my side of the family, at least for my mom's side, they practice burning of the hell notes as well. So that's where I also couldn't wrap my head around why, certain practices are done as well. And therefore I was just going with the flow as well at the time.
Oh, last time you also burn hell notes.
I mean, as a Catholic Christian, we don't have an issue with doing certain things. It's more like, it's more like, we just, at that point in time when I was a Christian, like just believe in Jesus, and whatever your parents are doing, you just can observe, it doesn't really have to be part of your,
I suddenly got reminded of one thing, like other than burning hell notes during that time, right, we also offer the food, like you see food on the roadside because the Hungry Ghost Festival, the ghosts will come out and then they will eat on the thing. So the fruits or the food will be placed on the floor, and then some cats or animals will eat it. Some, the Bangladeshis, will clear it, the foreign workers and some of them might even eat it. So it's a bit weird So it also doesn't make sense to me.
So from what you share so far, what I understand is, these are some of the disagreements that you have with the theological aspect of Buddhism, and you also can't wrap your head around some of the practices that Buddhists do. So have you ever thought about the meaning of life, your purpose and everything?
I actually only started thinking about my meaning of life when I was in army. Before that, right, I thought about it here and there, but I didn't really focus much on it. I thought that last time I would just think that my purpose of life is just to lead a good life, and my aim was to make as much money as possible and just be successful. I think that is what a lot of people want and a lot of people aim for.
Most parents also say to their children, right? Just be successful, study hard, and earn as much money as possible to feed your family, become a lawyer. I mean, it's not wrong to be successful in that manner. Like you think about being a doctor or becoming a lawyer. It's good contribution to society, and it's nothing wrong to chase after success in life. But we also need to chase success in the hereafter. Correct.
Because that time, right, when I was in my army, I started my own online business, selling apparels. I would just call it apparels. And I had a small success, and that was when I I bought my first car, right? My family didn't have a car. I always wanted a car because like in Singapore, right, like car is like a symbol of success because like it's expensive, right? Not a lot of people have it. And most people just take public transport. And being able to buy a car at, I think that time I was like 19 years old with my own money. After I bought the car, I was very happy. And only for a while, like even though I always wanted to have something successful, right? I had a small taste of success, just a small taste, and it didn't really make me happy or enjoy success that much because I would just ask myself, what's next? Like what's next after this? Car number 2 or car number 3, but it doesn't make sense, right?
For those who are unaware of the pricing of cars in Singapore, is astronomically high. So it's quite amazing, that he bought a Nissan at 19 years old. Yeah, because I think, to spend at least $100,000 on a car, along with the petrol and all the taxes for the road and, a gantry that you go through.
Yeah, correct. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it, at least from how I felt so far. And through the experience, right, even just owning something that I always wanted, that was when I started to think about life, is it just all about chasing success? Because I had a small taste and it didn't make me feel that happy whatsoever. It only made me happy for a while, but then I still feel like there's something missing, I just don't know what it is yet at that time. And I just felt that there was something missing. And after that, when I finish army, when I go to work at my full-time job, I will always ask my friend that, like, what's our purpose in life? Then we'll always discuss about our purpose in life. And we'll always have discussions, like what we believe in. And some of my friends, we always had discussions that we believe that there is something out there that we just don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. And we believe in the unseen. We believe that there is a world of the unseen because there's many things that we cannot see. So at that point, I was at work and I worked in a gaming company last time. So I played a lot of games at that time. And that was the start of my discovery about Islam.
Oh, from gaming?
Yeah, correct. Because through gaming, right, I met a lady over there inside a game. The most unlikely places to learn about Islam.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah, so that was where I met a lady and then like we just play games and then we just got to know each other and then we got together. And at that point of time I knew that she was a Muslim, but I wasn't really interested in religion because I always have a point of view that religion
what game was it you played?
It was Rules of Survival.
Oh, that's where you met her.
Correct. It's like PUBG Mobile, but
you have like avatars and stuff inside the game. Yeah, I mean like you have a character.
Yeah, just inside a game. Correct. And then it's like PUBG, right?
No.
Oh.
My gaming knowledge is not that high.
Okay, but yeah, basically we have a character, and then you can talk in the game also to your teammates. Yeah. So I didn't believe much in religion. Because I always believed that religion...
Wait, how did you know she was a Muslim? Was her character wearing hijab?
No. Because I know she is Indonesian, and I last time I thought Indonesian were Malays. Last time, and I knew that like Indonesians and Malaysians, right? They are Muslims.
But can be Indonesian Chinese.
Yeah, but she's not Chinese.
How you know? The name is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Correct. And I also met her in person, so I know that she's not Chinese. Yeah. So from then on, I thought that this is something that can be put aside. Like relationship doesn't have to involve religion. That was my mindset last time. So I didn't really care much about it. I just thought that we can just go through with this and see how things go. And then there was one day that she told me that I think after she spoke to her parents or her brother or something, like her family, and she told me that if things have to be serious, I'm serious with her, then I have to become a Muslim because that's the only way that her parents will accept me. If not, I wouldn't be able to go on further with her. So that was when I I had a dilemma. What should I do? And I just thought, okay, I'll just hold on a bit longer. Let's see what else happens. And then in the meantime, I started to learn a bit about Islam, right? Because I think she's a really nice girl. I wouldn't want to give her up for that. And that time I think to myself that if I were to become a Muslim, right, I would just become a Muslim by the namesake, like I'm a Muslim, but I don't really have to
do the lifestyle, the practices.
Yeah, correct. As long as I'm Muslim, then I can be referred, then I'll just do that. But as I learn more about Islam, I watch more videos, and I start to realize that Islam is actually a very logical religion. It has the teachings that is what I believe is true, and it also has the the concept of the unseen, which is also what I believe in as well. I believe that there is the power of the universe, and everything happens for a reason, but I just don't know what's the reason. And Islam has the reason, everything happens for a reason, right? And everything happens with the will of God. So why Islam made a lot of sense to me is because before I went to classes, I went online to listen to a lot of Dr. Zakir Naik's lecture, because he does a lot of on comparative religion, and he talks about how Islam has similarities with other religions. And that was the time where I was like, wow, there's actually a lot of similarities with other religions, and it is quite a misunderstood religion, Islam, at that point of time. So I was curious, and I started to learn and find out more.
What were your misconceptions then?
Last time, my misconception about Islam was it is only a religion for the Malay people. I thought that Indonesians were also Malay people. Some of my friends also think that Malay live in Indonesia and in Malaysia. Another one of my misconceptions is that I used to think that Allahu Akbar is a bad word. A lot of my friends think that when we play games, people will just be screaming in the game Allahu Akbar, thinking that this is a bad word.
Oh yeah, must be those terrorist video that they show, and people kind of in those parts of the world, they would scream crazily. Yeah, and then it gives you that impression. I guess that's how the media does it.
Correct. So other than that, I didn't have much misconception about Islam. I had more things that I didn't know about Islam. I didn't know that they had to pray 5 times a day, because we don't see Muslims pray, right? They pray in private mostly. And I also didn't know that Friday prayers is also a compulsory thing. And I also didn't know that all 5 prayers in a day is compulsory. Because prayer to me last time, prayer to me is always if something good happens to you, then you go and pray in the temple, to thank the God. And if something bad happens to you, then you go to pray and hope for something good to happen to you, or something to remove something bad from your life. That was some of the things that I didn't know much about Islam. And as I started to listen to more lectures, it also made a lot more sense to me. And that was where I started to go to the Muslim Converts Association of Singapore, the Darul Arkam, to have classes there. So I went to the Basic Islamic Express, the short one in a week one, but I go there every single day. 2 weeks, but I go there every single day. And also went for the prayer class. So through the Basic Islamic course, that was where I found out that it is actually a very beautiful religion with a lot of logical reasoning and good reasoning behind it. And I think the teacher also did a great part on explaining it, because I think if the teacher is bad and didn't have a good explanation to make me understand everything, then I don't think I will also have that much understanding or the will or determination to want to be a good Muslim. I would just do it for the namesake. But ultimately, I realized and found out that this is where I want to be. And the main reason, right, why I believe that Islam is the true religion, right, is because of the signs in the Quran. It's because of there is so many things, the Quran said 1400 years ago that the universe is expanding. And this is just one of the examples. It's impossible for so many like for someone to know that the universe is expanding, like so many years ago.
1400 years ago.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Furthermore, like how there's an ocean where both salt water and fresh water don't mix because there's a barrier between them. And it was not discovered 1400 years ago. Nobody has the ability to even build a ship or a boat that well to go so far in the ocean to see this. And today in modern science, we can actually see it. There's other science like how the Quran talks about the creation of a baby in a woman's womb and all that. So 1400 years ago, nobody has a microscope, nobody has the technology to, have a rocket up in the sky to see how the universe is expanding. Nothing at the point in time. And yet he was given this revelation from God.
Yeah, correct. So this is basically what made me believe is the different science and the different verses of the Quran that made me believe that this is the true religion. And compared to the other scriptures, I think this is the true and the authentic one, because there is no contradictions. There is everything is so beautiful.
Furthermore, you say that you met good teachers, good Muslims around. I guess it's also how it comes all together as a religion of peace and love.
Correct. I think a point just to add is for people who are thinking to go to Islam classes or anything, right? Initially, my impression before I went to the class was it's going to be a serious class, like it's going to be like lecture style, like in school, like it's not going to be interesting, but it's going to be very deep, and very serious lah. But surprisingly, the teacher was very lighthearted, it's like very funny in a way, also in the way that he explained things and make it relatable and funny to us, and makes it easy for us to understand. So if people are afraid, I was afraid, at the start to go to classes. I don't know who I will meet, what I will learn. So I think if anyone has those fear, right, I think
don't be worried lah.
Don't be worried lah. At least for my case, I think maybe for yours as well. I think the teacher was all very nice. If people are afraid that the teacher is going to be, you must be Muslim or what, then it doesn't happen lah. So yeah, just relax and I think you'll have a good time in the class. Correct. Also, just a quick add-on is that, like I always have this mindset, or some people have this mindset, if they go into a religious class, they will get brainwashed or something. So, I don't know how to say that is not true, but I think just go in with an open mind, but yeah.
And I know where you're coming from. You're talking about, because in certain places, I think communities where they want to get people committed to something, they would have a lot of, validation that this is true. Like everyone would say this is true and this is right, and they will keep telling you that you have to follow them and stuff. But if that was true, there wouldn't be 1.8 billion Muslims in the world.
Yeah, correct. Maybe even more. I think there's some undocumented. Like maybe in China, right, a lot of people are maybe Muslims, but they.
You can tell me 2 billion or 1.8 billion people all brainwashed.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so share with us about how, you came to a point that you want to take Shahada. So basically, Shahada is the declaration of faith. Once you take it, you're a Muslim. Basically, it's just what you have to do. It's just a declaration of faith that you say with your heart and accept. And that's it, you're a Muslim. There's nothing like, not in Christian context where you have baptism and stuff. Yeah. This is just a declaration of your faith.
Yeah, it's just what you say lah, and what your heart believes in. So, back to his question on how or why I decided to do my Shahada is because, for me, right, I'm a person that if I believe in something already, I will just, and I really want to do it, I will just do it lah. But what made me want to do it, right, is because I think for the past maybe 3 years before I became a Muslim, I've always been thinking, ever since I bought a car that time, like, what is the meaning of life? I've always been in search, sometimes not actively, sometimes passively, be in search of the something like this to believe in. And when I finally believed in something, I couldn't believe it, because I used to hate religion. I used to believe that it is all man-made. I used to believe that religion is just a way for people to feel good. Like last time, right, when people say, thank God for this, thank God for that, I will like, in my mind, I'll really be, triggered, for some reason, because like, I'll be like, I mean, this person, right, to me last time, like, this person, okay, you got this thing, it's because, you worked hard for it, right? Like some people say, thank God I got a new house, or finally pay off my house, To me, right, at the time, last time, I was like, you work hard, and that's why you manage to get what you get, right? And everybody's success is each of their own, right? Like I'm successful, or he's successful because he worked hard, right?
Based on his own efforts.
Based on his own efforts, correct. And there's no God that made him successful. That was what I believed in. So when I actually believe that there is something out there, I actually believe that this religion is real. I also cannot believe it myself. I really believe in it because I've been in search for something to believe in for the past few years. And when it came to me that I learned about Islam and found out that this is what I believe in, and finally that I booked my Shahada. I think people with knowledge, right? I think people will generally tend to be able to understand what is the true religion better. Because I think Albert Einstein, I saw one of his quotes, he said that science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. Basically, I think it means, right, like if the religion doesn't stand the test of science by scientists, then it is a blind religion. Yeah, correct. And, through all this, like the different signs in the Quran, I believe that it is the true religion.
Oh, fascinating fact. I didn't know that. I didn't know about Einstein's quote.
Yeah.
Okay, so afterwards you took your Shahada. Can you describe like what's your parents' reaction and your friends also as well? Like,
can. So before I took my Shahada, right, like few months before I actually went to Islam class, I actually told my mom already that I'm going to Islam classes, going to become a Muslim. So at that time, her reaction was slightly angry, I guess, just slightly, because she couldn't understand why there are so many girls, right? Why I choose one that is Muslim.
I think my parents also think the same thing. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. And she also said I'm young, or there's so many girls, blah, blah, blah. And so I let her know beforehand, because I know this is how she is. So I let her know months in advance already, that before I go for Islam classes. And when I actually, like closer to when I'm going for Islam classes, I told her that I will be going for Islam classes. And the good thing about Darul Arqam, right, is that it's right below my grandma's house.
Oh.
So like I would say, I'm going for Islam classes soon. It's actually near my grandma's house. So I just quickly add one more topic to it. I just say, when I go there, I'll go visit grandma also.
Wow.
Yeah. So once she know that I'm going for Islam classes, and since I already told her a few months back, right, she already know that she can't change my mind, because I'm the sort of kid that if I am determined to do something, right, and then she can't change my mind unless I give it up myself. Like no one can influence what I want.
I see.
So, and since I already told her before, since when it's getting closer to the Shahada and when I'm going for Islam classes, right, like she already know, like it's like that, like you can't change really.
She accepted it.
Yeah, she accepted it. So I did my Shahada, like one of the days, and I just told my mom afterwards that I can't eat pork anymore. I'm not eating pork anymore, So, and surprisingly, I think she just said, "Oh, okay." Like she didn't have any like argument or anything, or like getting angry, because my mom's temper is quite bad.
Oh.
So, so that was quite a surprising thing. She just said okay, and then then I think the rest of the family, I think they just know just like that. Like, I didn't really tell them, but they just know. And for my friends, I also didn't really tell much of my friends. Only my colleagues at that point of time when I was going to work. I just straight up tell them that, hey, next year I'm going to become a Muslim, like that. So I think they were quite nice, because I think we are not super close. So at that point we were close, but I think we were just very open, and they were very accepting. So very thankful for that as well. And yeah, didn't have much of a challenge telling my friends or family. Correct.
So after that, do you have any other, how's like being a Muslim after that?
Being a Muslim so far, I think life has been great. It has been, it's good living a life with a purpose, it's very different from living a life that's blind. Just to share a quote that I heard last time when I was doing sales job, living a life without a purpose, right? It's like being a taxi driver without a passenger. You're just driving around blindly, just waiting for something to happen.
Oh yeah, kind of see the analogy. Yeah.
At least with a passenger, you know where you start and where you end. But with no passenger, you're just driving around waiting for something to happen. So I think it's a very good analogy, and it always stuck in my mind, since then.
But one day that journey will come to an end.
Yeah, correct.
Even though you're a taxi driver, right?
The petrol will run out, even though if you have no,
you're just like waiting.
Passenger.
God is like saying, when are you going to find out about your meaning of life?
Yeah, correct. So, it has been very different, living a life with a purpose and no purpose. And challenges-wise, I didn't really face much challenges. It's only I think recently there was Chinese New Year that we have to meet relatives, and I didn't really bother telling them that I'm a Muslim. I think because some of the relatives is those those kind. So I just whatever the food they offer me, I'll just say it's okay, I have food already. Yeah. So
Most of, I also go through that part. Yes. I just explain to them you cannot eat pork. That's all for me. And most of the food I would see the ingredients and say, sorry, I can't take this.
Yeah, I realize it's actually easier to know if you tell them you're a vegetarian, then you tell them you can't eat pork.
Strange, right?
Very strange, but just a.
But actually, being a vegetarian has much more restrictions, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
because you don't eat any meat, what?
Correct. You can only eat rice.
But if you say I'm vegetarian, people kind of get.
Vegetarian. No pork. Oh, why you don't eat pork?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we've understood most of what Ilyas has shared about his story, I hope it has benefited you. Any last words you'd like to share with our viewers out there, for our new brothers and sisters out there who are new reverts maybe, or even those who are on the journey of discovering more about Islam because they're interested in it? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I think my advice would be a very simple advice, but I think it's very important one, and that is to seek knowledge. And not just any knowledge, but seek the right knowledge. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that the earth and the sky, it is a miracle. And the night and the day, when they join together, it is also a miracle. But it is only for those with sound mind. So people with knowledge and people with a good mind, they are able to see that is a miracle. Because a lot of people are asking, where's the miracle? They want something to happen, then they will believe it. And this is actually already answered in the Quran. If you have knowledge, you know what is the miracle. So seek the right knowledge to help you understand which religion is the true one, and also seek knowledge from the right place, because there is also many misinformation out there. There's also many people that will deviate away from the teachings of Islam. So seek the right knowledge. I think that's the best advice I can give. Seek the right knowledge and don't go down the wrong path.
Go to your local mosque, go to your convert center, seek the ustad's help. Don't just get information from the internet, because it's a whole jumble of fake and true news together. And if you do not have the ability or the way to decipher what is true and fake, you might get lost in the flooding of information from the internet.
Yep, correct.
So thanks for the advice, Brother Ilyas. So for those who are out there, if you have questions about Islam, feel free to drop us a DM on our IG. Mine is Harold Chia, HERALD.Chia. And his is Ilyas. Hey Ilyas. Is it Tan?
Hey Ilyas Tan. Yeah.
Hey Ilyas Tan. So just drop us a DM. We may reply you slowly because we have a lot of either messages or things to do or so. Please be patient with us. Inshallah, God willing, we'll get the answers to you. For those who are out there who not yet know about Islam, we encourage you to find out more about it. Ask yourself about the purpose and meaning of life. There should be more to life than just living it on repeat. Yeah. Like waking up, going to work, earning the money, and just going home and repeating that life again. Death is going to come to every one of us. Mm-hmm. And if we believe that it just ends at death, then there's really no bright ending to life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? it kind of makes no sense of why we're here.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Because life just doesn't come and go like that, It just have to
There has to be a reason.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
So do take some time, think about what you see around you, you observe how things are created around you, and then you will come to find that there's actually a creator who creates everything. So I encourage you to discover it through Islam, because we believe that it is the true words of God that were being spoken in the Quran. Seek the Quran also for knowledge, because it has everything there for you to understand about Islam as well. Apart from that, do find out more about our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Peace and blessings be upon him, his life, and how he actually shared about Islam to the rest of the world. And it will inspire you further to come to see what an amazing person he is. That's so beloved to all the Muslims. So before we end today's video, we also like to share with you a surah from the Quran from each of us. Hopefully it will bring you some peace, some comfort, and some knowledge that will be beneficial for you. So Brother Ilyas, what would be a surah from the Quran that you would like to share?
I think the one that I want to share is Surah Al-Asr. I think a lot of scholars have said that this is a summary of the Quran, because it talks about as time passes, mankind will be lost except those who are patient, those who guide others to the right path, and those who do good deeds, right? So, in a sense, if you look at the Quran, it is one of these three things, asking us to be patient, asking us to do good deeds, or asking us to find out the truth, guide people to the truth. That's why I like this surah. And the surah goes like this. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr.
Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
I think it's very profound, the meaning, understanding about time and how we will eventually be lost if we don't seek knowledge and we end up forgetting about who is God and stuff. For me, I would like to share Surah Al-Ikhlas, which encapsulates the entire meaning of God in Islam. So here it goes. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So basically what it means is that say that Allah is one and only, the eternal, the absolute. He doesn't beget, neither is he begotten. So he doesn't give birth to, and neither is he born. And there's nothing can be compared to him. Yeah, so that is the gist of that surah. Thank you guys for tuning in today to watch our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channels if you enjoyed what you're watching. Turn on your notifications if you'd like to see more of our videos and to be informed of our new uploads. Another thing we would like to share with you is Brother Ilyas and I have been discussing about collaborating. We'll still upload videos on our own personal YouTube channels based on the topics that we want to talk about. But we are thinking of coming together to do a podcast as well. And inshallah, it will go smoothly for us. And when that happens, we'll let you guys know. So the whole purpose of doing this podcast and all these videos is there are different groups of audience. Some people to just listen to a podcast, and we hope that we can reach out more to people who want to know more about Islam.
Yep, correct. So we'll keep you guys updated if there is anything, because I think this is going to be a very exciting year. So
yeah,
2021 is hopefully, inshallah, will be a good year for every one of us, not just us, but also everyone that's watching this video.
So to our dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we'd like to wish all of you Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to everyone out there, we wish you have a beautiful day ahead. And inshallah, hope to see all of you in Jannah, paradise one day.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.